Welcome to Season 4 of Song Revolution, where you're going to find great information, interviews, and inspiration to fulfill your passionate calling to write great songs. Hey everybody, welcome back to another great episode of Song Revolution. You're the reason that we do this show. We've been doing it since 2017. We have an incredible archive. We have so many great people from all these years. I can't believe we've done probably 230 or 40 episodes. We've got David Leonard. We've got Bear Reinhardt from Need to Breathe. We have Meredith Andrews a couple of times on the show. We have so many great episodes. If you just went back and listened to this show, you'd get a whole education in songwriting, artist development, and just how to be a good human sharing the love of Jesus in your life. But I love doing this show because I get to make new friends. My guest today isn't really a new friend. He's an acquaintance from 7 or 8 years ago. We wound up at a writing camp together somewhere in the boonies of North Savannah, Georgia. And I've always appreciated this man's music. He is a multiple Covenant and Juno Award winner. He's a husband, a father of 4, and he's been churning out some great music, not only this year, but in years past. If you go back and just check out his catalog, he's got some big songs. His breakthrough single, Fires, just set me on fire way back. And also Weary Traveler has had millions and millions of hits. He's just a good guy. I'm so excited to have with us today Jordan St. Cyr. Jordan.
John, that was incredible.
Oh, thanks. I stayed up all night practicing.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. So I have a teleprompter on my glasses.
Clearly you do. That was impressive.
You know what I didn't say is that the hit songs, the music that you've been writing, basically even since around COVID, has been against the backdrop of your youngest daughter, Emory Grace's health struggles. And so how is Emory? And catch us up. It's been a pretty miraculous story. You've shared it in other places, but catch us up on Emory Grace.
You know, our little girl was born with a rare brain condition. Just threw us for a total loop. We had 3 healthy kids at this point, and within her first 24 hours of life, she had an MRI that revealed she had a rare brain condition called Sturge-Weber syndrome.
And there was a bruise on her face. You thought it was?
Well, the nurse thought it was a bruise.
Yeah.
And
like a little forceps in the birthing process,
exactly. Any parent knows what a bruise looks like and what one doesn't. Yeah. And so, you know, our little girl was delivered, placed in my wife's arms, and we're just looking at each other, and we knew something was wrong because of this birthmark, you know, on the left side of her face. And so, they did all the tests, did the MRI, revealed that she had the condition, and the next 3 years of our life were pretty tumultuous, in and out of, you know, ER visits, doctor's offices, ambulance rides.
Talk a little about what it's Sturge-Weber?
Sturge-Weber syndrome. So
what does that does that mean?
So it presents itself differently in different people because we're all so unique, you know. But for Emory, it meant the left side of her brain was suffering atrophy because the blood vessels on that side of her face and head wrapping around her brain were 3 times the size that they should be. And so they're stealing blood reserved for that side of the brain. And so the brain is shrinking, causing seizures, high risk of stroke, blood clotting, the whole deal.
And they can fix it?
This is a lifelong thing. This is. So if the seizures had gotten to the point where they were uncontrollable by a certain medication, they actually would have done, and this was on the table for a while, a procedure called a hemispherectomy, where they actually sever the left lobe from the right.
Oh my God, I've heard of that.
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable. And it's your child with that possible surgery.
Yeah, feels like a science fiction movie.
Oh gosh.
We it's this, you know, I feel like the best example we have of following Christ, very dumb, very practical, is like hopping on an airplane because you ain't the one flying. You know what I mean?
Not in control.
Not in control. Yeah. And this was the embellishment of that, you know, 100-fold of just getting through today. And not having answers, and just sitting with it and getting through the day, getting to the next. The hardest part was the hypervigilance that you exude as a parent because your eyes are fixated on your daughter, wondering if today's the day she's going to see us again. And so my wife endured, the most trauma from that, PTSD.
Yeah.
Nothing compares to the way that a mother bears in general, to me, let alone having a sick kid.
Right.
And so we walked through that for a few years, and little did we know after those 3 years, we were entering a season of her being seizure-free, and now we're approaching 4 years seizure-free.
Praise
as our little
God.
girl's 7.
That is so awesome.
I know.
Wow. What was your formula? What was your secret?
What's the
prayer?
secret sauce?
We could sell that, man.
I know. That's the thing. I share this story, not as much, but when I do from stage, I always, with a caveat, an asterisk, saying following Jesus does not make your life in any ways perfect. And I don't share this to brag, because he's used it mightily. Like we're at the point where we wouldn't give it up because the gift that was waiting for us on the other side was that great. And so it's just taught us about prayer, and it's taught us about waiting and patience and how maybe I really don't know what I know or need or anything like that. And just the simple prayer of like, okay, Dad, you know me better than I know me. Search my soul. Your will be done.
And you're just loving this little girl from one day to the next, to the next, to the next, and meeting her needs and doing what you can. Falling back into the arms of God's sovereignty and being transformed in the process, and probably
1,000%.
even the other kids too.
1,000%.
That they're having to live in this ecosphere of all the attention, much of it going to Emory instead of them. How did you navigate through that?
We talked about that a lot growing up, especially my wife, who sees all things through that mother lens.
My wife sees all things.
She does.
She just sees it all. Most wives do. My wife's name is the Holy Spirit. I'm just sure of it. But.
It's the reason why the world is still spinning.
Yeah, right?
Because God gave us women. They rule the world, man.
Okay, spinning and women. You could do a song right
That's
there.
right.
We'll
write that.
Couplet, yeah.
That's right.
I love that. That's why the world is still spinning. Because God created good women.
That's a hit right there. I'm looking around. Anybody else feel that? I got goosebumps.
Hey, I made Kyle laugh behind the camera. And Kimberly Hopkins, too.
Let's go.
Kimberly's in the house. She laughed. All right. So,
okay.
Sorry, I digress. But I mean, it must have been really challenging.
Yeah.
To help the other kids to feel like they're still important and their needs are being met emotionally and spiritually.
It was, there were times where it just felt like, man, we're in the hospital. My wife's in the hospital. She's taking her appointments. She's missing out on the childhood of her kids and also the motherhood of those 3 children, And
you're traveling, you're out doing your thing, and so that's exacerbating
the guilt that I felt of like, what am I doing? Because in the early stages of Emory, I didn't have any hit songs. I was still chasing, and so chasing in the arts is like,
oh my God, it's
costly.
The worst. It's the worst. It really
feels
is.
like taking food off my kid's table. It's like, we're not going to get a vacation this year because Daddy's down in Nashville.
Right.
Trying to make something happen.
Yeah.
And my wife was nothing but supportive because she knew that those trips gave me life, which in turn allowed me to pour life out onto my family. And that was always the goal. How can I come home more full? It didn't always win. Didn't always go that way. But
and that's the reality of being a music guy.
Yeah. Because even now you have high seasons and low seasons, and that doesn't end. Which why it's so vitally important that your identity is not what you do. Your calling even isn't what you do. rather an overflow of who God has called you to be, which is a lover of him and people.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if my doing can be, can extend from that thought, then we've got the order right.
Mm-hmm. I've lived that life as well. Not so much in the last 10 years because I've been building NCS, but I traveled as a worship leader, made records, chased all of that too.
Yep.
And thankfully, we're married 46 years.
Come on.
If she keeps me 2 more weeks, dude, I got to make it 2 more weeks, and we're at our 46th.
I love that.
But I look back and I see seasons of time where I was less present, and there's a burden, and people think, if I could just be like, those people up on the stage, and if I would just give anything, it's like, no, you really wouldn't.
Nope.
And the most precious times that you missed. So I totally identify with that, but it feels like you've been able to prioritize the family to the point where everything's cool.
Yeah. I always had 2 dreams. Dream 1 was to have a family, to be married to a woman I love and have kids that are not a cliche of like having a successful career and an unsuccessful family.
Mm-hmm.
That was like dream number 1, but also to have a dream, not just for me personally, but to, raise young men in a dad who's pursuing a dream so that they one day may see that the emphasis will always be on family because people matter more than things. However, leverage the things that God has given in your life to make yourself better for the people around you. So I think that's a kindness from God, is like, hey, I desire you to grow as a person, but guess what? I'm going to make it fun. I'm going to allow you to use your giftings and abilities, the things you like, to get better at you.
Amazing, isn't it?
That's beautiful.
Yeah. As well as the things that are very challenging. There's so many, right? I mean, there's so many streams of belief around trials and tribulations.
Yeah.
And I spent a season in a particular stream of the faith that taught that if you had faith, you didn't have troubles or sorrows, or if there was something wrong, right? And so we hid it. We had to hide our mental illness and our addictions and our alcoholism and our, all of our acting out behaviors from our traumatic childhood. We had to hide all that stuff because we would be judged by this hyper...
Shame on top of shame.
Right? Man, that's a sucky way to live in Jesus. It's horrible.
Hey everybody, we'll get right back to the episode in just a second, but if you're a songwriter who wants to grow in their craft, finally finish those songs that have been stuck in your journal for years, and connect and collaborate with Christian songwriters from around the globe, NCS Community is the place to start. We meet every week to offer accountability, training, resources, masterclasses, feedback, and song critiques on things that you're working on. And it's just a great place to connect with other Christian songwriters and encourage each other on the journey of becoming a great songwriter. NCS's mission has always been to empower Christian songwriters worldwide, and we'd love to see you there. So check it out, NashvilleChristianSongwriters.com/community. You can find all the details there right on our website, and we'd love to see you inside NCS Community. Check it out.
I've had to, it seems like I was the only hyper-faith Pentecostal guy that was like having all the problems, and I was hitting every pothole in the body of Christ, and felt like I was an abject failure, and bottomed out so many times, and yet I look back on a lifetime and I see that God, every hard left jarring turn was his hand. And I think I was too stupid to listen or something. I don't think I must not have been listening. And it's like, okay, dude, here's a slap and wow, thanks God. And yet here we are, looking back, and I wouldn't trade any of it. Like you just said a moment ago, I mean, you wouldn't trade as hard and awful. And Emory Grace is doing better and better.
Yeah.
And a miraculous story. And you made another song idea you said a while ago is like the gift on the other side.
Yeah.
So we got some songs to write.
But
it's true. I mean, but not everybody believes in that theology,
Well, I will, yes. I want to touch on one thing you said about kind of like your rebel past. It's like you're wondering as a prerequisite for a relationship with Jesus. You know what I mean? Because it's the rebel. That's who he came for. Right? And so the more we embrace our humanity, the more we're gonna really realize the need for the giver of life.
Yeah.
I think. So
I think so.
And I love your story because it's the only thing that keeps us from being a Pharisee.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Dude, I know the gutter God found me in.
Yeah.
And I can take it there, you know, in a heartbeat.
Very well, right?
I've told this story a few times, so you guys who've watched me for a while, bear with me. But I love this story. My daughter, who's now almost 33, she was in maybe 9th or 10th grade, and she was asking me about my childhood. And I told her what a little bit I could, right?
Yeah.
And her eyes were getting bigger and bigger, and she said, "Oh my God, Dad, you were an emo goth."
That's so good.
I think I had everything but the black lipstick. But yeah, I mean, it was like I had a pretty dark upbringing. You know,
I was in a rock band with, blue black hair.
Oh yeah,
and the tinted eyeliner and the whole deal, man.
Are you talking about Marilyn Manson?
I wasn't. We weren't. Maybe dare I say that far? We were like LA grunge kind of thing, and just the odd thing for me was I was just this outlier of like I was leading worship on a Sunday morning, and the night before until 1 a.m. I was in this band. The band was all sex, drugs, rock and roll. For some reason, I was in this band, and I was just trying to but it was an education of humanity, of like, hey, don't be so offended by people's sin, because you should really be spending the majority of the time on yours.
You know what? That's the truth. Yeah. You know, we're so surprised when Christians sin. Boy, this is like going down a bunny trail.
Hey, man.
But it's the truth. You know, we're so surprised when people fall.
I know.
Because we deprive them of their humanity and of their vulnerability, which, you know, that's where God works. And we say, well, God can't be anywhere where sin is. But, you know, the Bible says where sin abounds, grace much more abounds.
Where sin is found, your grace is more.
Come on, Jordan, let's go snort some coke. Come on, let's go do something. Let's go do something radically bad.
Oh my God,
so God can show up.
I know, right? No, I just think
I'm kidding, y'all. I'm just kidding. I mean, I'm just totally
I got
kidding.
what he said. Did you get what he said?
It's Meth Week at Nashville Christian Songwriting.
Finally, some reality. Let's go. We get in the way of watching God do his greatest work, which is impart grace. Because dude, when you get to see God impart grace in somebody else's life, the only way you can kind of be there for that is to probably see them at their worst.
Yeah.
And in that moment, see them like Jesus does.
And it's harder when that's you.
Oh, well,
and everybody else, you know, I mean, like, dude, like I said, if she keeps me 2 more weeks, it's 46 years, and she has seen me at my worst.
I'll be praying for you.
And
Don't
she
mess
has,
up.
oh, God, counting the days. Man, I've got a calendar, and I'm just Xing off the day. I'm just praying.
We're at 19.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the month.
Wow.
And
congratulations.
Well, I appreciate that. That's very kind, but we're not even close. But that's the goal.
Yeah.
That is the goal, you know, to just a day at a time.
And that's really the hardest, you know. And I remember years ago, somebody gave me a book called The Precious Present. And it's a little bitty book. And I don't even think I have it anymore. But it was the first time that my brain and my thinking ever came to this present moment. I was always living futuristically or regretting the past or living in the future. And it's the first time that I ever thought, oh, wait a minute. I'm kind of here right now. I'm not there and I'm not there.
Yeah.
And I'm relating this back to our marriages because, you know, that is really the only way that a marriage can be sustained if you stay in this moment. When people ask me what's the key of a long marriage, I got one word: forgive.
Oof.
Forgive. If my sweet wife, Saint Donna, had not forgiven me 1,000,000 times, 70 times 7 every minute, you know, I mean, gosh, we couldn't be here.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only key to any kind of relationship. You know, I manage a lot of people here at NCS, and, you know, I have to forgive them every minute of every day. I mean, there's Kyle, man. He's like, God.
And when we walked in, this guy needs forgiveness.
It's hard.
Yeah.
I'm going to look at the camera. Kyle, I just want you to know, brother, that I forgive you.
You're forgiven.
For everything. Okay, enough of that.
He gets the point.
But seriously, I mean, and even with yourself, I don't know about you, but man, I think that my greatest addiction ever has been to guilt and kind of a shame thing, because you're looking at me really funny.
Well, I got a question for you.
What am I going to confess?
No.
I'm not going to confess anything bad. But
I've got a thought. Like, I grew up the self-righteous church kid.
Mm-hmm.
So,
you know,
so my question to you, and this is what I feel true for me, is wow, the older I get has been with every year a realization of how my motives, how impure my motives have been the whole time. And so there's a beauty in that because there's a grace for that. But it's making me realize that I thought I had it more together earlier on.
Yeah.
And the older I get is like, oh crap.
Yeah.
I really probably have it the least together, which is a good place to be in because of who God is.
Yeah.
But dang, I got some work to do.
Well, buddy.
It's all downhill from here.
Well, this really isn't a podcast interview. This is an intervention.
Oh.
And all right, you guys come on in. Your family's
Thanks,
here.
team.
You come in. Your management team's here.
Could you imagine if my wife and
Kimberly Hopkins is here. Wow. We are doing an intervention.
Let's go.
Because you are one arrogant guy, and I don't know how anybody's tolerated you ever.
Yeah, I feel you. I look in the mirror every day.
Oh God, you know what I mean? But it's true, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even in Christian music, maybe not especially in Christian music, but for sure.
Well, there's a pretense in Christian music. That's the problem.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Exactly. Nailed it. Yeah.
But in ministry too. I mean, somebody's up on a platform and it just is inherent to the position that people are going to look up to you. And like we were saying a while ago, we just deprive them of any ability to screw up and be wrong and sin. And when they do, it's horrible. But there's also that sense of sometimes outright arrogance and horrible. Yep. We've all dealt with them, and we should be the most humble. What do you think? How's God messing with you in that instance or in this season with that? What you just said, that was a pretty big confession, bro.
Well, I think it's only going to get, worse and better as I get older because hopefully I'm growing warmer and wiser in my life, not colder and more
stupid.
Yeah, stupid and isolated, and I can do it my own way.
Yeah.
There's a million ways we could go about this. I think like in the artist world, like the banner with your face on it and the name in lights, that is a tool. Mm-hmm. That is not who you are. And so you use it as a tool. Don't be one kind of thing. It's kind of like the way I take it.
I think that's the title of this podcast.
Yeah, perfect. Don't be a tool.
Jordan St. Cyr,
Christian tool. No, you know what I mean? And I think a buddy of mine always reminds me of who Jesus was. He was one who walked meekly and lowly. And I think that's the goal. Well, the young man wants to be big and boisterous and loud and be seen. The older I get is developing this craving for a simpler life to be hidden.
Yeah, I mean, like, what if this was gone? Like tomorrow?
It'd be okay.
1,000%
it'd be okay.
I mean, full disclosure, I'm having the time of my life, and there are moments from thinking, oh my God, what if I screw all this up and it tanks and, all of a sudden I ain't got nothing but the blues. It's like, what's going to happen? And I think it would be devastating. I've been through enough of these kinds of things. It'd be devastating for a while.
Yep.
But I think after this last situation that actually, I won't go into it, that even led to starting in CS was horrible. One of the worst things that ever happened. I actually went into deep depression, deconstruction, and had to rebuild. and now God's just blessing the credit, which is awesome.
Can I say something there?
Yes.
Because the professional Christian, we attach our faith to our wins. And then when we lose, well, everything goes with it.
Where's God?
Where's God? And it's like kind of the biggest load, isn't it? It's a very human thing, because I'm like, I don't say that like I'm not a part of that club. Of course I am. But that can't be. Can't be the thing.
But we still do it. Because we're humans, we're frail, we cannot help but look to something outside of ourselves and outside of Jesus in us to give us worth. I've been the worst about it, and throughout my life, whether it was the music, whether it was owning a home, whether it was having a certain car, whatever it was, And one of the things that God has really been messing with me about is learning to be completely satisfied within myself, not in my own humanity, Him, of course, inside. There's a phrase, satis Dei, and it means satisfied with God, satisfied in God. And I think sometimes, and when I'm thinking and praying and meditating, I come back to my breath. Like, we don't even really own this breath. And I've been with people who have died, and when they breathe the last breath, dude, that breath wasn't even theirs.
Wow.
They don't get to keep the body. They don't get to keep the breath. They don't get to keep anything.
That's crazy.
Right? And so you want to freak yourself out. Think on that. Go down that bunny hole.
You don't even own the breath you breathe.
But I mean, it's freaky, right? Because we have a friend that is actively dying right now, and we went to see her and sat with her and planned her funeral. Wow. And it's just the weirdest thing to think that in some short season of time she will not be here. And one of my best friends in the world died in his sleep about 4 years ago.
Wow.
And talk about just somebody being ripped from your life.
Yeah.
And just the finality, the insanity of that. But then when you can bring it back, and I'm saying this in light of finding your value in a job or a platform or a hit song or anything. When we start finding our value in anything other than God, within our hearts, right?
Yeah.
Then I think that's when things start just really going crazy.
Yeah, when you make the main thing not the main thing. There's not many, gifts that social media has given us. But one thing that it has is I follow a couple accounts, and these people are dying, and it's heartbreaking. But they're gifting us with wisdom from the other side.
Who are you talking about? Somebody's posting on Instagram from the other side?
No. They haven't passed yet. But because they're faced with their mortality in such a deep way.
Oh, like they're terminally ill.
They're terminally ill.
Oh, okay.
And this one guy's, he's it's perfect. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's clearly a deep believer. I haven't dug too much in his stuff, but he's like, it's uncomfortable. It's not what I've chosen. However, it's God's way of perfectly making me to the person He needs to be for this season of life.
Good.
I was like, oh my gosh.
Hello.
It's why when we started this, I just sensed the depth. I was looking at your bookshelf. I'm like, oh, you're asking the deeper questions. And I'm like, I need to live there. And that's why I'm gravitating to accounts like this on social media. It's because it's like, there's not much else to live for that is going to bring me joy or contentedness. Now, why would I want another number one song? Why would I want a hit tour? Well, I mean, if I really think about it, it's like, maybe we could spend more time as a family together, right? And we could afford that.
Yeah.
But if I really think about it, I don't really want another number one for the sake of having that. It doesn't make any sense with what I now know, with what you know. It doesn't mean we don't pursue. It doesn't mean we don't chase. It doesn't mean we don't build. But
you're not finding your value in yourself.
I'm trying not to.
Yeah. At least you're aware of that. And so many people are not very self-aware.
Yeah.
And they feel like those things are going to bring them joy and happiness. It might bring some joy and some temporary, but not lasting.
I think it's redefining the metrics.
Yeah.
Like, this is a beautiful space you've created to impart wisdom. And so impact is clearly the metric by which you probably do this. And I'm like, I don't know that there's a greater metric of like impacting hearts and minds with the knowledge, the experience, that the Lord has given you. And so, yeah.
Well, let's talk about some hit songs and tours
Sure.
for a minute. Now that we've gone so deep down. Yeah.
I live in the deep end of the pool.
I'm loving the conversation because for me, there's the glitz and glamour that people perceive, whether we intend for it to be there or not. People kind of assign it to, they kind of project it onto us, right?
Yeah.
And you can tell when somebody comes in the door or you're in a Zoom room with somebody, and you can tell when they're overly impressed with stuff. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But I love, your whole vibe about that because, and your music reflects the struggles that you've been through with with Emory and even just life, and there's a beautiful authenticity about what you do. Of course, you've had Fires and Weary Traveler and some other big songs, but the songs you're releasing this year, your string of singles from this year, I honestly think that they're some of your best.
Thank you.
And I know later in the show you're going to do an acoustic version of Wild Love.
Yeah.
I think that I like them all a lot, but I think Wild Love is just one little bit.
I appreciate that.
I love it. I mean, I actually love them. Every Reason to Believe.
Yeah.
Great song.
Thank you.
Storyteller Man.
Yeah.
Great song. Pray for You.
Yeah.
I love the idea of that. It's like instead of just saying, "Hey, I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to pray for you." No, come on, Jesus, show. I love that. So, but you're really fond of the choir. Yeah. It's like you have this incredibly strong, awesome, upfront voice, but like you kind of always love to pad with these gigantic. What's up with that?
Well, what's interesting is this new record in particular. The goal was to create the room that other people might want to be in with us. Mm-hmm. Like, so as a listener, hey, I want to be in that room and I want to sing along to these songs.
That's very honest.
I don't know. I just think it conveys, at least in the newer songs, the more upbeat stuff that I'm putting out, is we're joyful. And I want to convey that we're in a joyful season because of all we've been through. And now we're on the other side.
It shows up, man. I mean, it really does. And you have just such a strong voice, and it comes across very authentically. It's like I have enjoyed your music over the years.
Wow.
And seriously, I mean, since we met at that writing camp years ago, I've followed you off and on, and I've always thought, man, Jordan, this is really cool. So congratulations.
Thank you.
On all that. Talk a little bit about your process. Everybody's got a different kind of process. This is a song show, so
that's right.
So do you write the music first, or do you write the words?
Yeah. Well, I put on my special outfit. I get my
Tell
matcha.
us about that.
Yeah, no. You know what? It's just, it has to be
Sequence may or may not be involved with this secret outfit.
I sew them on myself.
I put on my Dove Award-winning jacket. So
no. It just has to resonate with real life. It's got to be real. If I'm writing in a room and a co-writer throws out a lyric and I'm like, that's not conversational. Like, I worked in construction for 20 plus years before fires even hit. I remember hearing my song on the radio in the main floor, and I was installing carpet on the upstairs. You know what I mean? Yeah. And now the problem with that is the last thing you want to do is go tell them that's my song on the radio, because you lose credibility as the construction worker telling everybody you're the artist, right? Yeah. So is my bedroom going to look good?
Take that power saw away from me.
Exactly. So it's got to be so relatable in some way or another. So if it's a story of my upbringing, or I'm trying to really, a lot of it is the relatable revelations that the Lord has put in my life currently, presently, and what I'm working towards. Mm-hmm. again, through the story of Emory, through going through such heartbreak to deferred hope and dreams coming true of like, working a construction job, raising a family with 4 kids in a small town in the middle of nowhere, Canada, having this dream of being a big time songwriter artist, but trying to keep your heart humble because you're a believer and you want to do Christian music, and like just that tension of all that, throw that up, in the dishwasher and turn it on kind of thing.
Yeah, right.
And it at the end of the day, it's gotta be useful. Right? Like, I think that's why I chose this genre. It's like, again, if impact is my metric, well, how can a struggling mother take this song home and how will it edify her soul? Or how will it edify the man who maybe is in the same position as me, doesn't love his job, he's just trying to love his wife well and raise his kids well, but they're living paycheck to paycheck and they don't know what the future holds. I really just want to speak to the everyday person because that's the majority of us. So, I mean, if we get into the nerdy songwriting process, I just love starting with an idea. Here's a song that's not out yet, but it's a concept that I really love. I was on the road with my first big multi-band tour was a Christmas tour, 2021, Casting Crowns, Kane, Mac Powell. It was just wild. I'm like,
I'm sorry, who are they?
Yeah, we'll talk later. I'll show you their music. It was just a weird thing. Again, if you know my story, I'm like, I am from a 1,200 person town. You farm or you do construction, and I did both. First job was milking cows, and I loved Christian music growing up. I loved the radio. I just did. So to be out with these artists was just, I felt like such a phony, such a fake, so insecure, like I'd get sick. Allergies in the South are no joke. And so I'd lose my voice and I'm like, well, if I can't even sing, what am I doing here? And so I wrote this song called Walking in the Woods, WOULDS, just in the woods of life. And it was just written out of my insecurity. Being on the other side of my insecurity, I would say. And it's just a song asking God all these questions like, would it be okay to ask you what's really on my mind? Would you turn away from me if my words don't come out right? Would you rather if I was stronger? Would you love no strings attached? Would you take me as I am? Or is that too much to ask? That idea of it's just conversation with God. But it's really a heartfelt prayer that came out of just an insecure season. But when I write a song, I try and start with an idea. Because if you can start with an idea, then maybe you can find a hook. And then if you can find a hook, you can maybe reverse engineer that chorus. And then maybe start writing verses. So
that's good, man.
That's my nerd.
You're preaching my sermon. Yeah. We talk about all those kinds of things in all of our programs and all of our coaching and what we do. I mean, really just nailed it. So
I've got a job.
You have a job.
Let's go.
You passed the interview. On. Yeah. Well, I'm working on a concept now too. I feel it's very biblical. And the title is, If Your Hair's Too Long, There's Sin in Your Heart.
That's so good.
So, yes. I've been working on that.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I love that. That's so funny.
Jordan, thanks so much for being here, bro. Yeah. What would you say to an aspiring artist or songwriter out there? They're in the land of AI and all the crazy shortcuts and stupidity that's going on right now. What would you say to somebody who really feels authentically called to be an artist or a songwriter and 1,000%. Have some kind of ministry?
Well, I wish AI was a shortcut. I just don't see it as one, only because it's just inconsistent. And so be consistent, in what you do. If you're from a small town nowhere like me, find people that are like-minded. And I would say songwriting is the bedrock of our industry, right? We always are going to need songs. And you're going to have to build a ton to maybe get the one. And then you're going to have to kind of put your money where your mouth is and maybe get to places like Nashville, LA, London, where there are songwriting communities, because you have to be the weakest link in the room eventually. And I was able to do that. Again, working a construction job, it allowed me freedom to do that, and put myself around people that were just better than me. And that really was the catalyst to getting better.
So good.
And to kind of like just catapult the dream. Yeah.
That's so good. So wise. I mean, if you are the best in the room, you're probably in the wrong room.
You're in the wrong room.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
Right. Yeah.
Well, Jordan, again, thank you for being here. We've renamed you.
Oh, perfect.
By the way, yeah,
because
we were saying your name earlier, and someone said Jordan Sincere, and it's like, so you are now Jordan Sincere.
Well, I've got a little adage to that.
Okay.
My dad, who was a singer-songwriter back in the day, he had a band called Jerry St. Cyr and the Sincere Serenaders. I mean,
that's a lot of
that's
S's.
A lot going on.
A lot of S's going on there.
Yeah, beautiful.
Man. Well, dude, seriously, this has been a lot of fun. You'll need to come back and let's have some more laughs and chat and talk about songs and ministry and what it means to really be a follower of Jesus in this time and with what he's given us to do. So you're going to sing a song for us here in a moment. You're going to do Wild Love.
Come on.
It's a wild, wild love.
There it is.
Very good. Cool. I really do love that song.
Thank you,
it's really great. So congratulations. We look forward to a whole lot more from you.
Sounds great. Thanks, John.
All right. All right, everybody, you're going to get to enjoy Jordan in just a moment, but I hope that you'll go check out his website, check him out on the Insta and the Facebook and wherever he posts on all of his socials. We'll put all that in the show notes. And as always, check out what we offer for you at NashvilleChristianSongwriters.com, and you'll be amazed at how you can progress in your songwriting, in your artist development. If you'll just even take advantage of what we post, follow along, check out, again, the archives here at the show. It's really, really deep. Also, I didn't mention at the beginning of the show, but Song Revolution is now on Cornerstone TV. We're very excited. We've got some great artists on the show this season: David Leonard, Hope Darst, Meredith Andrews, Bay Turner, and more coming up on Cornerstone TV Song Revolution. So check it out. You can tune in live or you can catch it on streaming on demand. So check it out there, and I hope to see you next time on Song Revolution.
Thought you'd have given up by now. Thought you'd have let me get away, but letting go, no, you don't know how. You've got a heart that's unafraid, and it won't stop till it finds me. It won't rest till I'm safe. It's strong and it's fierce like a lion. Your love can't be tamed. It chases me down to the ends of the earth, climbs canyons and mountains where no one would search. It runs after me like a raging river runs. It's a wild, wild, wild love, story of my wandering. Every time it ends the same. There could be a million miles between, but your love finds a way. It chases me down to the ends of the earth, climbs canyons and mountains where no one would search. It runs after me like a raging river runs. It's a wild, wild, wild love. It's a wild love. It's a wild love. wild love, love. And it won't stop till it finds me. It won't rest till I'm safe. It's strong and it's fierce like a lion. Your love can't be tamed. It chases me down to the ends of the earth, climbs canyons and mountains where no one would search. It runs after me like a raging river runs. It's a wild, wild, wild. It chases me down to the ends of the earth, climbs canyons and mountains where no one would search. It runs after me like a raging river runs. It's a wild, wild, wild love. Oh, 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 wild love. Oh, oh, oh. It runs after me like a raging river runs. It's a wild, wild, wild love.
Hey, thanks for joining us on today's episode. Be sure to check out all the information below in the show notes and be sure to like and share. We'll see you next time.